Thanks, Aaron. And I want to say just very briefly, I'm really, really proud to be here tonight. I thank all of you for coming. I'm in a room full of many, many friends. Some of you I got to say hello to, some of you I didn't, but I want to thank all of you. I'm particularly proud of the 3 honorees that we've had tonight, or the 2 honorees and a keynote speaker. For Lois and Sarah, your work has been an inspiration to me for a long time. Mort, I've known you since your Boston days when I was at Mass Fair Share, and it's terrific to have you here. And of course, Attorney Barrara, thank you very much for your inspiring remarks. I'm also proud to be here with 4 members of the national staff who have come up to be here tonight. So I just want to acknowledge Karen Hobart-Flynn, the Senior Vice President, who you know. Jenny Flanagan, our Vice President of State Operations. And Susan Schreiber, our Associate VP of Development. Susan, thank you for coming. There are 4 national board members who are here. You've already met Susan Rubenstein. We have Bill Hubbard, Chang Park, and the longest distance Marilyn Melkonian, who came all the way up from DC for tonight. Thank you. And I'm also really proud to be here with Susan Lerner. Susan, in my mind, you are the sort of the quintessence of the Common Cause staff person and leader. She is a fighter. She is thorough. She is detailed. She is objective. She is relentless. She has a vision, and she has the organizational skills to make it all happen. So I'm really proud to be your colleague and friend. And one of the things that I like about Susan is that, yes, she's on the case on corruption, as we should be, but also on the case for reform, to make sure that our campaign finance system changes and people have the opportunity to participate. And voting is open to everybody, and we have a system of public financing, of small donor financing, that will make a real difference. Let me just make 3 points before I close the evening. One is to tell you all what an extraordinary organization Common Cause is. As many of you know, I was the president of Demos here in New York for 13 years, and I'm delighted that Lucian Rothenstein and Calendar's Ricky Cesar from Demos are here. Thank you very much for coming. And I left Demos. The reason I left Demos to come to Common Cause is because it is an organization whose values are fundamentally solid. That is, to have a democracy where people can participate, where everyone participates without barriers to that participation, where their voices are not drowned out by the power of big money, where districts are drawn by the citizens to elect their politicians rather than the politicians drawing the districts for their voters, and where all of those issues are about making democracy real, et cetera. But in addition to those values, it is an amazing organization. Founded in 1970, as you've heard, with 475,000 members around the country, 35 state chapters that are able to move an agenda in those places, with an incredible talented staff, with a wonderful board headed up by Robert Reich, and just an extraordinary organization. It is around the country. It is a pleasure for me to be a part of it, to go to work every morning, to work with the staff that we have. So for those of you who made additional contributions, and I know many of you did, thank you very much. There's still plenty of opportunity, and I hope you will continue to support Common Cause year in and year out. Thank you very much. The second point I want to make is the extraordinary times that we're living in. There's no question that we're in an election year. Everybody's talked about it endlessly, where the stakes are incredibly high. We have a set of choices before the country about what direction we're going to go in. Are we going to be a country whose democracy is inclusive and welcoming and participatory and fair? Or are we going to have a country that goes further down the path of inequality, lack of opportunity, economic insecurity, racial division? And those choices are as stark today as they have been in the 45 years that I've been doing public policy work. So this is and in addition to that short-term issue, our democracy is challenged in ways that it has never been before. The levels of inequality are higher than they've been in 100 years. The issues around voting and participation and voter suppression are first and foremost in the absence of a Voting Rights Act. Money is dominating politics in a way that it is, determined to make us into a plutocracy rather than a democracy, and on and on. So these challenges are real, and they are deserving of our utmost effort. And that brings me to my last point, which is I'm also incredibly optimistic, because I think what's happening now is that these issues are front and center in our country's politics. Okay, for many, many years, those of us who have been involved in the democracy movement say, God, these problems are so terrible, the voting rights issues, the money in politics issue, the inequality, and nobody's talking about it. Well, yeah, these issues are as bad as they have been, maybe worse, but everybody is talking about it. And I'm a firm believer that when the conversation in our country changes, sooner or later the policy will change. So that the issues of money in politics, the issues of corruption, the issues of voting, the issues of gerrymandering, the issues of inequality, the issues of an economic chance for everyone, those are the issues that we have in our front and center in our politics, and I have no doubt that we will solve them and deal with them. And so that means that gives Common Cause its charge, which is all of you who are all of us, we are we, have to go out every day, not only to work for the candidates that we care about, but to work to make our democracy everything it can be. So from that point of view, I'm delighted to be part of Common Cause. I'm delighted that all of you are part of Common Cause, and thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you.